that don't let that go. I'm doing what I'm doing now because I finally, after 14 years, I finally answered the call. I remember seeing Zig Ziglar who said, if you help enough people get what they want, they will help you get what you want. The great Norma Vincent Peale, you have special. Don't allow the thoughts to hold you back. When the end comes for you, let it come. Let it find you conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. I listened to these voices to change my life. I was born in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor with my twin brother Wesley, and we were adopted by Mrs. Mamie Brown. Always say when I speak, I said I'm on stage because of two women. One gave me life, the other one gave me love. That God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. And my first dream was to take care of my mother. I saw my mother working for wealthy families on Miami Beach, and I'm a mama's boy. I used to follow her around and say, Mama, what is it, Leslie? When I become a man, I'm going to be able to take care of you. Mama, she took care of the children that she worked for these families, and we wore the hand-me-down clothes of the children. I used to say, Mama, what is it, Leslie? When I become a man, I'm going to buy clothes for us that no one else has ever worn before. And we ate the food left over from the families that she cooked for. And my mother was a great cook. My mother could bake a sweet potato pie so good, you couldn't eat it with your shoes on. You had to take your shoes off so you could wiggle your toes. And I used to say to her, when I become a man, we won't have to wait till someone eats and see if there's anything left off. I'm going to buy groceries for us. That was my early dream. And then when I became a man, I wanted to buy my mother a home because I achieved the other goals. And I want you to think about some things that you want to do. My first major goal was to buy my mother a home. And I remember seeing a home on Miami Beach. It was North Miami Beach. It was very beautiful, had a waterfall in front. And I said, Mama, what is it, Leslie? One day when I get you home, you're going to be so proud of me. And I drove her in the area. And she saw this big, beautiful home, and she said, slow down, Leslie. I said, what is it? Slow down. She said, boy, if I lived in something like that, I would feel like Mrs. Rockefeller. I said, whoa, I knew I had the right selection for her. And so at that time, I didn't have the money. I didn't have a contract. I had no idea on how I was going to do it. I want to warn you, because you don't know how you're going to reach your goal right now, does not matter. My favorite book says, lean not unto thine own understanding, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. There are ideas, there are resources, there are things in you that will reveal themselves when you make the commitment to go after your dream. I believe that dreams are from God. And so I want to ask you, what do you bring? I decided, after seeing Zig Ziglar and Dr. Norman Vincent Peale and Robert Schuller, I decided that speaking was going to be my way out of Liberty City. And so I followed them. I invested in myself just like you. They talked to Warren Buffett, who's a billionaire, and asked him, what's the most important investment you can make today, Warren? Here's a man that has billions of dollars in real estate, billions of dollars in the stock market. He said the most important investment you can make is in yourself. He's absolutely right. That's what I did, and that's what you're doing now. And continue to do that. I want you to shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, you have greatness within you. You absolutely do. You have greatness within you. And so I want you to think about your goal and dream, and I'm going to give you some affirmations to say, not only today, but to say to yourself, just like I'm going through this process with two protruding discs pressing that sciatic nerve. I know it's possible, even though it's robbed me of my ability to walk for a period of time and I'm in a wheelchair. I know it's possible that this is not my destiny. And as you think about yourself, think about your goals, think about your dreams, you've got to say to yourself, every day it's possible. Having a spirit of optimism when you're going through some tough times, it's really important. It's easy to have faith and be positive when things are working right. You don't have sickness in your body. Your marriage is working right. The children are not running you crazy. Okay, it's easy. They have faith then. But when the tough times knock on your door, that's the time that you have to pull on your faith. And I tell you, I've called on Jesus, Yahweh, Allah, Melchizedek. I've been chanting, go to your old reggae kill. Oh my God, this siding nerve. Oh, it is nothing to play with. It has humbled me. My children are taking care of me. I have not been able to hold up my body weight. It's been unlike anything that I've ever experienced. But all of us have stuff. All of us will go through some stuff. Just keep on living. If you haven't gone through something, don't worry. Your time will come. They will call your name. Your number will come up. Now, not only is it possible for you to live your dream, but I want you to say to yourself that it's necessary. You can't be wishy-washy about your dream. You've got to be committed to go all out. The people that live their dreams are the people that are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. You know people who should be there right now. And they're not there because they are buying into what I call an entertainment-driven culture, where people are fans and they are always sitting back looking at other people live their dreams on television or in sporting events. But there's something in you. There's something in your heart. I asked my children this morning when they were working with me, I said, how do you feel about my life? Have I lived a meaningful life? Have I made you proud as a father? I want to know that. And especially this time, I'm 72 years old and I'm thinking about the next chapter in my life. I said, I want you to be honest with me. He said, Dad, you've made us very proud. You've touched millions of people's lives and you're still making a difference. And to me, everything that I do, having my children respect me and believe in me and the work that I've been doing and having a life that's meaningful, that was very important to me. And I believe that you are here because there's something in you that says this just can't be it. There's something in you that says I want my life to count. And you're not crazy. Sometimes you feel like you're crazy because people around you don't think the same way. That brings me to the next level. I want you to write this down. OQP, only quality people. In order to live your dreams, you got to create an environment for your dream to grow and to fertilize it with faith and encouragement and inspiration. Look at the people in your life and ask the question, what is this relationship doing to me? Am I growing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? Am I becoming a better person because of this relationship? That's very important. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. So I want you to write this down because I want you to do this later. Upgrade your relationships. Yes, look at the people in your life. Who should you count on and who should you count out? There's some people that are always there when they need you, but when you need them, you can't find them. And so you need to know that. Who should you count on and who should you count out? Now, this friend of mine, Mike Williams, he wrote a book called The Road to Your Best Stuff. I'll write that down, The Road to Your Best Stuff. You can get it on Amazon. I was working at WVKO radio station in Columbus, Ohio, and he said, hey, Brownie. And I said, what? He said, you're more than a disc jockey. I said, I am? He said, yes. He said, you know, you go see those guys, Zig Ziglar and Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and you got all their cassette tapes and books. He said, you know why? And I said, no. He said, because that's you. You always encourage us. You make us laugh, and you got a funny laugh. He said, man, you ought to do that. I said, Mike, I can't do that. See, the reason I said that, I didn't believe in myself. When I was in the 5th grade, I was labeled educable mentally retarded. I was put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, and I failed again in the 8th grade. I have no college training. But I had this high school teacher who told me, young man, go to the board and work this problem out for me. And I said, sir, I can't do that. I'm not one of the students. I'm here to see MacArthur Stevens. He said, go to the board anyhow. And the other students started laughing, saying, he's Leslie. He's got a twin brother, Wesley. Wesley's smart. He's DT. He said, what's DT? He's the dumb twin. And I looked at him and I said, I am, sir. And he came from behind his desk and he looked at me and he said, don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And that was a stunning statement he made to me. Mama said, Leslie, don't fight in school when they call you that. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you. I said, Mama, but they do hurt. And words do hurt. And so, but Mr. Washington, when he spoke those words to me, someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. That was a breakthrough for me. And so I want you to know you're going to have some opposition. There are some people that tell you what you can't do. But it doesn't matter what they think. What matters most is what you think and what you believe about yourself. And I'm telling you, if you and I weren't cut from the same cloth, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be there now. Everything I'm saying, you know it. It's not necessarily common practice. And so faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. And as I speak to you, it's going from your mind to your heart and to your subconscious mind. Here's the other thing. You got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. I never forget Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, what do you want to do with your life, young man? I said, I want to take care of my mother. I want to buy her a home. He said, how do you plan to do that? I said, I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, you got to be hungry. I said, why do you say that? He said, people that are hungry are relentless. People that are hungry are unstoppable. People that are hungry, no excuse is acceptable. They will do what's necessary to make it happen. I said, sir, I saw my mother go to work when she was sick. My mother raised 7 children by herself. She only had a 3rd grade education. And I want to take care of her. I promised her. And I think I could make some money as a disc jockey. He said, good. He said, here are 3 things I want you to do. Number 1, you don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you want. Read 30 to 40 pages of something positive every day. And I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. Read 30 to 40 pages of something positive every day. Why? Because we live in a world where they tell us more about our limitations rather than our potential. You have greatness within you, but where do you hear that? Nowhere. So we have to say it to ourselves and have people around us who will remind us of that. The next thing that he said, not only do you have to work on your mind, he said, I want you to increase your skills. I want you to work on your communication skills. Find something that you love to do, something that is your passion. And I'm saying to you, what's your passion? What do you love? Find something you love to do and master that. There's no such thing as job security. The days are gone where you can go to college and graduate and get a job and work 40 hours a week for 40 years. Those days are gone. This is a brand new day if nobody has told you about it, all right? My sister working for Equifax for 22 years, they just tapped her on the shoulder 2 weeks ago and said, Sharon, we just sent your whole department to Mexico. And she said, Leslie, that's not fair. My sister used to bring work home on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. They didn't pay her for that, but she loved her work. But they didn't care anything about that. He said, this is it. At the end of the year, this department will be eliminated. And that's happening all over the country. And so one of the things that you want to do is create multiple streams of income. And that's what this event is about. It's better to have money coming in and not need it than to need it and not have it. And you would have experts there that will teach you different ways how to earn money in this new economy. And write this down. Knowledge is the new currency. Listen to me, the old man. Knowledge is the new currency. I'm telling you, I can't believe I'm 72. I used to think people in their 40s were old. Now that I'm 72, I think people in their 90s are old. Here's the other thing. And so I did what Mr. Washington said. He said, work on your mind and work on your communication skills and find something you love. He gave me his car keys. I said, what's this for? He said, I want you to go to my car at 12 noon. There's a guy named Paul Harvey that comes on the radio. He has a program called The Rest of the Story. He said, no one can tell a story like Paul Harvey. I want you to listen to him every day. And I say to you, what do you want to do? Is it in finance? Is it real estate? Is it in the stock market? Wherever it is, find someone who masters that and study them. I listen to Paul Harvey every day. This is the rest of the story. And I loved him. And I began to improve my communication skills by listening to him. You will improve as you study the people in your area of interest that are the masters. And then I came to Mr. Washington. He says, one other thing, Mr. Brown. I said, what is it? He said, change your relationships. If you run around with losers, you'll end up with good relationships. And I told you that earlier. And I did. Finally, I said, sir, I'm ready. And so he said, listen, I want you to go to WVKO radio station, WMBM radio station, and on Miami Beach, ask for Milton Butterball Smith. I trained him. Tell him I sent you to it. And I went over to Miami Beach, WMBM radio station. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. And he said, you have any experience? I said, no, sir, I don't. You ever done anything in radio? I said, no, I haven't, sir, but let me audition for you. I just wanted a chance to show him what I could do. And he says, no, we're not interested. I was rejected. I was devastated. Have you ever been rejected before? I went back and I told Mr. Washington, I said, Mr. Washington. He said, no. He said, don't take it personally. Most people are so negative, they have to say no 7 times before they say yes. He said, you got to be hungry. Go back again. So I went back again. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, I know what your name is. Weren't you here yesterday? I said, yes, sir, I was. Didn't I tell you no yesterday? I said, yes, sir, you did. He said, then why are you back today? I said, well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir. Nobody was laid off or fired. Now, get on out of here. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking at me like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. I said, I know what your name is. Weren't you here the last 2 days? I said, yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no the last 2 days? I said, yes, sir. He said, then why are you back today? I said, well, sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick or someone died, sir. He said, no one got sick or died. No one was laid off or fired. Now get on out of here. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking at me like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? He looked at me with rage. He said, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. My favorite book says, the greatest among you will be your servant. And so the day is gone where you're working on a job and you say, oh, that's not in my job description. Today you have to do what's required. So, but I just wanted to get my foot in the door. I wanted to prove that I was a go-to person, that I was a resourceful person. So I volunteered to work for the disc jockeys. I'd go get their lunch and their dinner, and I was standing in control room, watching them working the controls, knowing my time would come. I want you to develop the mindset that you expect to win, that you expect to create wealth, that you expect to meet some positive people, that you can develop some strategic, achievement-driven relationships with. That level of expectation and optimism is very important. Your thoughts have magnetic power. I was thinking about a friend the other day. I was calling him, and at the same time I was calling him, he was calling me. I'm sure you've had that experience as well. So that's why we have to guard our thoughts and program them positively. And so I was working on the weekends with the disc jockeys. I'd go get their lunch and dinner. On the weekends, I would clean their cars. I would wax them and clean them inside out. They came out to the parking lot and said, hey, who did this? I said, I did, sir. How much do you charge, young boy? I said, nothing, sir. I said, I just wanted to help out. He said, look here are my car keys. Donna Ross and the Supremes are coming to town. The Temptations and the Four Tops. I want you to pick them up in my car, that big long Cadillac, and drive them to the Fontainebleau Hotel on Miami Beach. I said, it'd be my pleasure, sir. I drove these entertainers on Miami Beach in the disc jockeys, big long Cadillacs. I didn't have any driver's license, but I was driving right. And then one day, a disc jockey by the name of Rockin' Roger was drinking while he was on the air. Rockin' Roger got so drunk he could not complete the show. He began to slur his words. He was about to fall off the chair. I was the only one there, looking at him through the control room window, rocking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. I said, drink, Bob, drink. Drink, Bob. I'm going to get him some more if it has me to. And then pretty soon the phone rang. It was the general manager. And I answered the phone. I said, hello? He said, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, well, I can't finish his program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs to come in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now, you must be thinking I'm crazy. I called my mama and my girlfriend, Cassandra. I said, y'all come out on the front porch and turn on the radio. I'm about to come on the air. I called him back in about 20 minutes. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and segue the records. Don't you say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now, he must be thinking I'm crazy. I called my mom and my girlfriend, Cassandra. I said, y'all come out on the front porch and turn on the radio. I'm about to come on the air. I got on rock out of the control room. I said, look out, this is me, LB, Triple P. Les Brown, your platter playing pop. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single and love to mingle, certified, bona fide, duly qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, big young, you love man. I was hungry. You gotta be hungry. I want you to shake someone tell you right, left, and around you and say, you gotta be hungry. You gotta be hungry. Yes, we live in the greatest country in the world. It gives us opportunities and gives us access to resources. We live in the greatest country in the world that allows us to live our dreams rather than our fears. And I say to you, you have something special. You have greatness within you. And when you're pursuing your greatness, you don't know what your limits are. So you act like you don't have it. And I say, challenge yourself. I want you to know that when I think about my life, and I've been speaking a long time, I thank God, even as I'm in pain talking to you now, and the challenges I've been going through with this sciatic nerve and two bulging discs, that everything happens for a reason. I don't think that you are here in Rochester for nothing. There's something that you're supposed to do. There's an assignment that you're supposed to do. And you know that. A lot of people, had this been an event, they would be there. But you're here to be empowered. You're here to be reminded of who you are and the work that you are to do. We don't know how much time we have left. You get a one-way ticket here. You can't get out of here alive. Okay? So my thing is live full and to die empty. So I want to leave this with you. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what you want to do, but I do know this. You and I cut from the same cloth. Everything I've said, it's in you. The people that are presented to you, they have some things that can help make a difference in your life personally and financially. And so I want to leave this with you, something that my mother used to love to hear me say. I said to my children the other day, when we were celebrating Father's Day, that Father's Day, I gave my mother a Father's Day card. She was Mama and Daddy all wrapped in one. And to me, being a good parent is maybe do better than you do. They're better than you. They're better people than you are. And one of the things that she taught me was having faith, even when things are tough. Having faith, even when things are working against you. I have a saying, when life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And even though I can't be there with you now, I'm grateful. I still have a voice. I'm grateful that I can still speak. I'm grateful that I can still serve. I feel that I was born to do this, that I please God when I speak. I'm grateful that I can make a difference in somebody's life, as Mr. Washington made in mine. If I just reach one of you, be worth it for me. It will be worth it for me. I never want to miss one of these. I want to Get Motivated for giving me an opportunity to speak with you today, even though I can't be in Rochester physically. They could have said, Les, come on, man. You're 72. You don't have it anymore. Come on, come on. You know, it's time. My children, they told me, Dad, you need to stop speaking. I said, but I don't want to. I still got it in me. I got some more chapters in me. I'm not through yet. My best work is in front of me. I know some of you in the audience feel the same way. But I want to leave this with you that Mom would love for me to say. And I dedicate this to you and to your dream. And it says simply this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or cold, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you will get it. You have something special. You have greatness within you. That's my story. And I'm sticking to it. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege. God bless you. God bless your goodness. God bless you.
Wasn't that worth sticking around for?